So today we're speaking about the Carter Action. And is racism relevant to today's society still or not? The Carter Action is yes, the racism is still relevant to today's society, but it's not the racism in fact of how it was in the 50s and 60s with whites being more outspoken with the racism with the KKK. It's the fact of the matter is racism is coming in more silence, more inconspicuous racism. You see, we can have today's society mixed up with the Trayvon Martin, the Baltimore riots, and the Mike Brown death. Yes, all these people all happen to get gunned down by white police officers. But the Carter Action today that I want to speak about is not about the racism, it's the fact that racism is relevant to the stereotypicalization of a certain race. You see a black man walking around with the hood on, and you automatically think he's gang affiliated because he's in a neighborhood that's not necessarily his common trait of being. You see a white person with this bald head, and you automatically think that they're a skinhead. Racism is coming from every way, shape, and form of today's society. But what we do not know is we need to put a stop to this now. We can't keep going on because then it's going to get like the 50s, 60s, the 50s and 60s, but more or less we're going to have a World War III that began. It's going to be a race war. It's going to come from all different, every minority, every group, every ethnicity is going to come together and say, we got to look back for ours. We got to be there for us. Just like today's video, I like to demonstrate myself through this hat. You see me with the hat on, with darker complexion, and some people might automatically think that I'm some kind of thug or some kind of hoodlum, but not necessarily true. I'm getting my education. I'm trying to make myself better. I just prefer to dress a certain way. We need to put a stop to this now. And I got three main reasons why we're going to put a stop to this. One, peaceful protests, non-violent peaceful protests. Two, we're going to have a voice, a delegation of a person like a Condoleezza Rice. Someone who high in power. Barack Obama, our first African-American president, can be in this. It's not necessarily the fact that we're going to go put out somebody, but we need someone who's going to stand the ground and be like, we need to stop this now. Someone who has a voice. Because we can have 50 million minorities come together and say we all did this, but who are us to listen to us? They're not going to listen to us. That's where the peaceful protests start with us. As a nation, as a civilization, to take back what's ours and come together as one nation under God, as it says in our Pledge of Allegiance. And the final reasoning is going to be that we're going to have donations. We're going to need the people to donate these causes, donate to the Negro Foundation, donate to a white scholarship foundation, donate to minorities and white people, no matter what the ethnicity is, to come together and build up a society that's more greater than we can have be known today. Step one, the donations. If everybody in America donates $1, that's close to having $4.0 billion right there. That's donating $1 for everybody. Now, the real richer people can donate more, but this $1, 4.0 billion, we can have more educational foundations to have more minority groups come together. We need to stop stereotyping and having build up each other and stop trying to tear each other down. Sterilizing and having reverse racism and the fact that having a stereotype of somebody is not necessarily true. And another reason is for the donations, we're going to be able to build up the college foundation, build up to let everybody know that we are one nation under God and we're going to come together. We all get money from different areas of America, but the whole thing is going to one foundation. By doing that, this shows everybody and gives everybody in America a sense of hope, a hope that we all can come together. That's going to lead to the second one, the peaceful protest. If something does happen in your city, like the Mike Brown, Trayvon Martin, or Freddie Gray cases that just happened here recently, we don't need to be going out and riot. Yes, as an African American culture, I am fed up of having white officers gun down these African Americans. I'm fed up with it. But you don't see me out there doing it. I'm trying to sit here and make this speech to you today to help out and to say we need to come up with a plan. We just can't act. We off reaction. We need to give ourselves a sense of hope that one day we're going to have to come together. We can't sit here and divide our nation. We need to come together. We are the stronger nation for a reason. We come together. And by doing that, by having peaceful protests saying, you shot him down, that's unfair, just because he dresses a certain way or acts a certain way or speaks a certain way doesn't necessarily make him a bad person. It just makes him a person who is an individual. We are all built up of individuality. How can we take that away from somebody? That right there, having peaceful protests will have everybody so that we're coming together. Whites, blacks, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Asians, no matter what ethnicity you are, coming together to do these peaceful rallies, these peaceful protests, saying, stand up, one nation under God, we're all in this together. We can't divide and conquer. We can't. We got to come together and conquer. Which will lead to my main point, the one that builds up. If we get enough people, enough donations, and have enough peaceful protests to know that we want to come together, and we get that to a higher power, like a Colin Powell or Condoleezza Rice or Barack Obama, a speaker who can come out and speak at these delegations saying, we have it. Barack Obama did say, he is taking a step in this, saying, with communities in Baltimore coming down, hope is all we have left. He said that. A pastor from there, I don't really know his name. I looked it up. They never released his name. But a pastor already said, our communities are built up, are building each other up. But with the riots, they're tearing each other down. What can we say? In the 60s and 70s, we had two different things going on. We had Malcolm X, who was all for the violence, and we had Martin Luther King Jr. Two men with two different personalities, two different well-beings, but they both had the same purpose in mind. Malcolm X tried the peaceful protest. It didn't work out. That's when he hit the head and started knocking people across the head, which is okay because that was his way. But we had two people who stood up, two people who with high power in regards to who they were. And finally, giving someone the power to speak out, we give them hope. We have everybody the sense of the President of the United States has backed us as a community and backed us as a nation that we got to come together. We need to come to action now, because without coming to action now, we're going to end up going back to the 50s and 70s, but we're going to end up with something worse. We're going to end up with the World War III, a waste war, happening in our own nation. All these other nations are coming together and we're tearing each other apart by this senseless stereotypical of being racist. It's hard enough being a black man or being a white man or Greek. We all got the same circles. We have to make money, we have to do this. But we need to come together now, or we're going to have this war in our great nation that was founded so many years ago end because of our own senseless foolishness. My name is Kevin Bryant, and I want to call to action everybody in America today to stand up, donate the money, give your time for these protests, and let us vote and make sure we have the right person to lead us. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 50 people, oh well, at least we have people out there getting their voice heard to come together in this nation. Once again, I'm Kevin Bryant, and my call to action is to come together as a nation to end the stereotypical racism we have going on today in society. Y'all have a blessed night. Hit me up. I'm out. Thanks.